last class, we have studied about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. In today's class, we have discussed about the chemical properties of metals. There are different chemical properties of metal. In that, first we have to discuss about reaction of metals with oxygen. How the metals react with oxygen and what are the products they will form when they combine with oxygen. That we have to discuss in today's class. Okay. Chemical properties of metals. A reaction with oxygen. A reaction of metals with oxygen. You know that metals are electropositive. They donate electrons. Metals are electropositive. For example, you take iron nail and you keep that iron nail in a moist air or in a moist place. After 3 to 4 days or after 1 week, observe that iron nail. What happens? Okay, you will come across brown color coating on the iron nail. That brown color coating on iron nail, that is nothing but, we call that as rust. That is nothing but rust. What are the factors responsible for rusting of iron? What are the essential factors, essential materials for rusting of iron? You studied that in the 7th standard. Okay, for rusting of iron, oxygen and water are very essential. A moist air contains oxygen and water molecule. This water molecule and oxygen are very essential for rusting of iron. When iron reacts with oxygen and water, it forms a rust. That rust is nothing but a hydrated iron oxide. It is a oxide of iron, hydrated iron oxide. That means oxygen, iron oxide is mixed with some of the water molecule. That's why it is considered as a hydrated iron oxide. This is a word equation, reaction. How the iron reacts with water and oxygen of air. It's a word equation. You have to take all this reaction while watching the videos. Iron reacts with oxygen and water and it forms rust. Rust is nothing but hydrated iron oxide. This is the reaction of iron with oxygen. The symbol of iron is Fe. Fe, oxygen is O2. Always it should be in the molecular form O2 and water is H2O. You have to write in the symbolic form equation chemical reaction. Then hydrated iron oxide, that is Fe2O3 point H2O. You have to write point H2O. That means hydrated oxide of iron, for hydrated iron oxide. Okay, now these 4, you will come across numbers here. 4, 3, 2, 2 here. Now why they are added? To balance the equation. This is the LHS side, RHS side of the reaction. To balance the atoms on both sides, we are adding these numbers. Okay, this is 4 here, 4 Fe. Here 2 into 2, 4 Fe is there. And 3 into 2, 6 oxygen. And again 2 oxygen. Total 8 oxygens are there. Here what happened? 3 into 2, 6. Again what happened? Again this 2 will be added to this. And total 8 oxygen is there. And again H2O, H2, how many? 4. And again here 2 into 2, 4 H2H. Okay. That is hydrogen 4, oxygen 8, iron 4 will be there. That is to balance this, we are added number here. This is the balanced chemical equation of rusting of iron or reaction of iron with oxygen and water. That when the oxygen reacts with when the iron reacts with moist air, when the iron reacts with moist air, it forms rust. Then what you have to do? You have to take that rust powder. Okay, you know that rust powder, it will become powder and you can take out that one. You have to take the rust powder and you have to take in a test tube and you have to add some amount of water to that, little amount of water to that, and you have to dissolve properly and you will get a solution. Okay, that is iron hydroxide, you will get a solution. That solution, for that solution, you have to take a litmus paper, blue and red litmus paper, and you have to dip into that. What happens? Any changes you will come across, you have to see. Yes, what happens? Red litmus changes into blue color. That indicates what? Red litmus changes into blue color. That means it is basic in nature, or it is base. Okay, next another one reaction to show that reaction of metals with oxygen. Very important metal, that is highly reactive metal, that is what? Magnesium. You heard about that magnesium. Magnesium reacts with oxygen and it forms magnesium oxide. What you have to do for this? You have to burn magnesium ribbon in the presence of oxygen. You will get a white powder, ash powder. It burns with a bright light. You observe that reaction and it burns with a bright light and it will form a white powder, ash like powder. That is nothing but magnesium oxide. Here magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Magnesium Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. That is 2 air return, that is to balance the equation. Then what you have to do? Again, this magnesium oxide, that is ash powder, that will be taken in a test tube and you have to add small amount of water to that. Then you will get a solution that is nothing but magnesium hydroxide. See, magnesium oxide plus water, you will get magnesium hydroxide. MgO plus H2 gives MgOH twice. That is nothing but magnesium hydroxide. Again, you have to dip litmus paper into that. You will get red litmus will change into blue litmus. You have to take ash powder, magnesium ash in the, that is nothing but magnesium oxide in the test tube, and you have to add little amount of water and solution will be performed. The solution is nothing but magnesium hydroxide, and dip the red litmus into that solution and the red litmus will change into blue color. That indicates that this solution form, that is nothing but, that is basic in nature. Now test with litmus paper I told, and then red litmus turns into blue color. Then what happened? So oxides of metals are basic in nature. Here magnesium oxide as well as iron oxide, tested both oxides of oxides of metal. Then both are basic in nature. Then you can come to generalization that oxides of metals are basic in nature, or metallic oxides are basic in nature. Here what happened? Iron reacts with oxygen and water and it forms iron oxide. And magnesium reacts with oxygen and forms magnesium oxide. Then you come to conclusion that what happened? When metals reacts with oxygen and forms respective metallic oxides. Respective metallic oxides means what? Magnesium reacts with oxygen and forms magnesium oxide. Iron reacts with oxygen and water and it forms iron oxide. Like that, they form respective metallic oxide. That is the generalization you will come across. But metals reacts with oxygen, water and air components of air in different manner and they form different product, different reactions you will get. Now, generally you can say that when metals reacts with oxygen, they form respective metallic oxides. You can say that they form respective metallic oxides. The metallic oxides are basic in nature. This point you have to remember, and you have to remember these reactions and you have to practice to write the reaction. What happens when magnesium reacts with oxygen, or what happens when iron reacts with moist air. Like that the question will be asked. But you have to practice the reaction and you have to write the equation, symbolic as well as word equation. Next you have to discuss about another one reaction. How the copper metal reacts with the oxygen. You know that when copper materials, copper vessels or copper glass, what happens when they exposed to moist air for long time, you will come across some smell, bad smell, as well as what happened, green coating on that. That green coating is nothing but a formation of what, copper hydroxide as well as what, copper carbonate. Okay, that green coating, that is nothing but first of all it will form copper oxide, then it will become like that. That is about the reaction of copper with moist air. How it reacts with moist air, that you have to discuss. See, when a copper vessel is exposed to a moist air for long time, it acquires a dull green coating. The green material is a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Okay, copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Formula of copper hydroxide is CuOH twice. You have to remember all these chemical molecular formulas, names as well as the formula. Copper hydroxide CuOH twice and copper carbonate CuCO3. Copper carbonate CuCO3. Copper you know Cu and CuCO3 carbonate and then copper CuOH twice, copper hydroxide. Now we have to write the equation. First, copper reacts with water and carbon dioxide and oxygen. Moist air contains all these things. Copper, water, carbon dioxide plus oxygen. It gives copper hydroxide plus copper carbonate. This copper you have written Cu plus H2 water H2O and carbon dioxide CO2 and oxygen is written as O2 and then you will get CuOH twice plus CuCO3. That is nothing but water hydrated the copper oxide, the green material on the surface of the copper metal. It is a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. You have to practice all these reactions. Okay, and how the copper reacts with moist air and how the iron reacts with moist air and how the magnesium reacts with oxygen. All those things you have to study, very important. In the next class we will discuss about water, how the non-metals reacts with oxygen. What happens when the non-metals reacts with oxygen? What happens when the metals reacts with oxygen? Usually when metals reacts with oxygen and forms respective metallic oxides, these metallic oxides are basic in nature. That you have to remember. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you. For resting of iron equation, you will get different types of equation. Okay, one equation I have given. Thank you.